Have you ever heard of the idea of the backrooms? A place that doesn't look unusual at first.
Where the hell am I?
Just a wall, a mirror, a door slightly left open. But if you get too close, something changes. And before you realize it, you're no longer observing it. You've become part of it. I would speculate that a realm like this could actually exist. What people long ago referred to as the veil, an in-between place. Not a world defined by strange physics, but by something far more unsettling. The gradual loss of your identity, your perception of time, space, and reality itself. I've put together a series of images for your viewing pleasure as we explore how a theory like this could exist and whether something like the Backrooms is truly plausible. So, if you dare, stay with me as we step beyond the familiar and into the veil. What may have started out as just a photo, just like any other, became the calling card maybe left by the veil, the back rooms to entice its victims, to pry into our very mindset. I will always believe there is a place we only see out of the corner of our eyes, a place we were never meant to actually experience, that is not until you are no longer in a human form. But in the last few years, maybe it has reached out. It has touched our deepest desires. We may be along with what the back rooms truly are. We are no longer observing. Maybe together, we are creating. The idea that the familiar can slowly turn to something not quite right. An image that you thought was one way, now is another. The feeling you get when you walk into a familiar room, but now the feeling isn't the same. Something feels off. A creeping, uneasy feeling. You may blow this off, but it starts happening more and more. The place you call home. The cracks in the walls seem to move around. The colors seem a shade different. The office you sit in day after day seems to be shifting. The lighting is all wrong. The air seems different to you. Even your coworkers do not seem like they are really there. But in your mind, you start to have an itching question. Do you really belong here? Then you notice a difference you can't ignore. One that seems to be calling to you. One you think you can touch. Right as you think you have a grasp on what is going on, you find yourself in a place that is completely not right in any physical reality you have experienced. Now you understand, but not really. Confusion starts to set in and you take a step back. Then, all of a sudden, you are back in what may or may not be your reality.
What the hell was that?
You dare not tell anyone this experience for fear of they will think you are losing your mind. Too much stress. You need to speak to someone is always what they give you as an answer. When you do arrive home, how you got from work to home is blurred images and lights. Did I walk? Did I drive? Did I get a ride? You can't remember. You open your door to your home, your safe space. As soon as you step in, it isn't your comfy house anymore. You turn around, starting to panic, feverishly looking for the door. There is no door. As your back slides down the wall, and now you are sitting, a feeling comes over you. Some fear, but mostly curiosity. A thought penetrates deep in your mind. Maybe I am not alone. What if I am special? Maybe I belong here. That was the instance you found yourself sitting at your front door, the door behind you, your living room in front of you. The sweat drips down your forehead. You are shaking. And then you really think, maybe I am losing my mind. These are the instances where the backrooms are calling to you. They show you. Yes, there is a place just between yours and ours. You feel like you are losing your sanity, but somewhere there is a moment of belonging. It makes you feel through the fear. The feeling of now you are not alone. Are there other people? Are there some other more advanced entities here? You try for days to make yourself go back through the veil. You just can't seem to. You do this mostly in your own home because behavior like this at work, well, let's say you would be pushing rubber somewhere instead of a pencil eraser. Why would it only show you and not let you explore? What was the point in that? Then out of the blue one day, you were at a coffee shop. You had to go use the bathroom. You open the door, see an old, regular bathroom. Then it changes as you take your first step. It melts away, and you find yourself in an all too familiar yellow room. There is no panic this time. You walk slowly down the corridors. You see a shadow of a person that moves around a corner. You say, "Hello," and it echoes on for what feels like forever. There is no answer. You follow around the corner. What looks like a children's playroom is around the corner. It doesn't seem right. You see a doorway. It is shrouded in darkness inside. The fear slips in, not because you are afraid of the doorway and what lies within. You are afraid you will go back to the world you came from. This is where your identity starts to slip. Frozen for a split second, then you are through the room, through the door. Something just for a second seemed terrifying. And then you are standing alone in a bathroom stall. You are exhausted. This is the same bizarre glitching called no-clipping as you pass back and forth between the realities. What was it I saw? Is that something that lives within the back rooms? Or was it just something I have a secret terror of? These are the times when most start to really research. As a general rule, the first step is to look into alternate realities. You will find information about recreational and pharmaceutical concoctions you can ingest that are known in some circles to break the veil. Is this true or not true? That is only for the persons whom have experienced it. The timeline shifts show up many times when discussing the backrooms. The Mandela effect, CERN, and other entities that have created this cause and effect. I will leave those for another time to explain, or, dear listener, you can go ahead and research this along with the backrooms. The idea that we could be creating a whole new parallel dimension inside our existence is where my one theory lies for the backrooms. I believe that some people have the unique ability to create with their minds. This may not appear in our realm, but in the backrooms realm, the void, the ethereal place where it may or may not be the same every time for everyone. With that being said, there is an old perspective. What if the insane people are actually sane, and the people we think are sane are the insane? The back rooms could be created by someone whom thinks they just have a great imagination, but they are actually creating a whole world. Maybe a bit abstract because I believe even that place has a hunger hunger for creations, people, and energy. Which one is more prominent, I am not sure of. The ideology of the Backrooms has grown over the years. Games, whole websites with creators whom create levels. There are explorers and there are dangers. If you find yourself no-clipping in and out, would you want to stay as the person seems to want to do in our story? Would you be terrified and get lost in a world that can change from room to room? Could you trust any of the entities or even other people that you found in the back rooms? I truly believe sometimes we want to escape our world into any other world that would seem better or different than our own. If you were the one creating it, and not some other force or somebody on a whim of imagination, I believe that could be an awesome place. However, the planes of existence I have researched about seems to not always be happy rainbows and unicorns. There are dark, deep places that seem like a tour into one of the 9 levels of hell.
It's in the pipe! Get back! Watch out! Oh, God.
Come get your treat.
As you can see from examples, the creatures are not all human. They come from disjointed, decayed places in the back rooms. Perhaps their creator died and this is what they have become. Or maybe, just maybe, a damaged mind, an evil presence has consumed some of the areas. Whomever or whatever is building the back rooms does exists. If not in our own world, but perhaps they are already in the back rooms, creating, feeding their own mind or feeding unknowingly the one supreme entity that dwells within the back rooms. What may start out one day as voices you hear that nobody else can hear, then seeing something just for an instance, you start to feel you are not in the correct place or time, finding yourself in one place that is strange and not right. Then you are back to where your last thought was. Perhaps you are starting to create. Perhaps someone or something else is calling you into the veil, into the back rooms. Now, dear sleepy speculators, would you like for me to continue the story of the character in our story? Or have you already found yourself thinking or creating? Let me know in the comments.